All right, Brennan Taylor here, True School Sports. I'm with the OG himself, the 86 fight veteran, the former world champion, DeMarcus Chop Corley. What's up, champ?
Ain't nothing much. How your day going?
It's going well. And yourself?
Ain't too long. Got out the gym, in the house, relaxing. Just had some lunch.
Yeah, yeah, man. So like, I know what you, man. Like, you're at a more advanced stage of your life. You got 86 fights in the pros under your belt. What have you been up to recently? What's been going on with DeMarcus Corley?
Just staying in Chop's kitchen, putting content out there. Eventually, get a YouTube channel going with that. Did an exhibition with Devin Alexander for 4th of July.
Yeah,
That was in LA. That was Unity Day for Harriet Tubman.
yeah. I heard about that. What was that like? The whole exhibition.
It was great. They had some great events on the card. Ryan Garcia, brother, he fought. Did an exhibition as well. The weather was great. Crowd, everybody came out, came together. We did a nice little walk around the neighborhood for unity, celebrating.
Yeah, celebrating a good cause. Yeah. But I wanted to ask DeMarcus, like, with you having so many fights in the pros, like, how have you managed to stay, I guess in the ring so long? Because a lot of guys these days, they can't last 30 fights, let alone 70, 80 fights.
I mean, it's funny you ask. When I release my documentary and do my book, I mean, I have a story behind my life, man. God chose me to live this life. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm blessed. I'm blessed at the end of the day. That's all I can say. I mean, I've been shot twice,
Mm.
and the funny part about it, when you dream about a shootout, and then you go to the gym and you tell your friends about it, and then that evening it happens, it come true. That's some scary stuff.
Oh wait, so you had a dream about it before it happened, and then it wound up happening that same day or the same night?
It happened. Yeah, it happened the next day. I had a dream about it Tuesday, and then I told everybody Wednesday when I was in the gym, and then it happened Wednesday night.
That's insane. That's kind of like that kind of sounds like that story when Sugar Ray Robinson had a dream that he killed the guy, and then the next day in his
Yeah,
fight he wound up killing the guy. I know it's different, but I'm saying it's kind of like a similar thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. So like you said you had a crazy story, like I know what you being shot or whatnot. Before any of that stuff happened, before you won the world titles, before the fame and the glory, like why did you start boxing? Like what was your reason that you wanted to start boxing? What led you to become a boxer?
Uh, we go all the way back to 1986. I was 10 years old, and I was hanging down the recreation center, and at 7 o'clock, they would start practicing in the boxing gym. Basketball will be over with, and a lot of the young kids will go in there and start exercising. And I would look in the gym, open the door, look inside, and I see them shadow boxing, jumping rope, doing exercises. And the coach saw me looking in the door, and they don't like for you to look in. Either you're going to come in and participate, or they want you to keep the door closed. And he came over and he said, "You want to come in?" I was like, "No." And he said, "Well, you got to close the door." Well, I closed the door, went back out, went and finished doing what I was doing, playing bumper pool or doing something else in the rec center. And then eventually, I would go back there just to check to see what they were doing there, see who was boxing. And I opened the door again, and he said, "You want to box?" And I said, "No." He said, "But you keep coming, opening my door." And I said, "I know how to fight." He said, "Well, boxing is a sport. It's different from fighting." I said, "What's the difference?" He said, "Well, boxing, you win, you get a trophy or a medal when you win or lose." And he said, "Come here, let me show you something." He took me in the office and showed me all these trophies. And he said, "Some of these trophies belong to the fighters in the gym." I said, "Them kids?" He said, "Yeah, them some of their trophies in here." I said, "Why don't take them home?" He said, "They have so many trophies. they don't have room at home, and they just leave them here. So I ain't believe them. So I asked some of the kids, I said, y'all got trophies in there? And one of the fighters said, yeah, I got an outstanding trophy that's in there. I said, why you didn't take it home? He said, I got a lot of trophies. So I asked my mother maybe a couple of days later, can I sign up for boxing?
Yeah.
And she told me no. She told me no. She didn't want me to box. And there was a reason why. I mean, I was born with asthma, and at a young age, when you have asthma, there's certain things you can do as a kid that normal kids are able to do, which is run track, play football. They can go outside, play in the field. Me, when they cut the grass, I'm not allowed to go outside and play in the grass. I can't be around cats and dogs because they shed, and I'm allergic to their fur and stuff.
Yeah.
And she said, no, you can't box. And at that time, I was only 10 years old, very young, but I wanted to learn how to box so I could get me a trophy.
Yeah. And hey, Chop Chop, there's like a crackling sound when you speak for some reason. Like when you speak, there's a little crackling sound.
Hold on. Is it still there?
Yeah, it's still there. Like every time you talk, it's like a crackling sound.
I'm going to turn the headphones off. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I don't know what it is. When you talk, it's like a crackling sound. It's like a shuddering sound.
It's still there?
Yeah.
What about now?
Like I can hear you perfectly. It's just a crackling sound whenever you speak.
I don't know what it is on my end. I'm not on the headphones no more.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll ask the people out there because this guy said there's a crackling sound. Do you guys hear a crackling sound when Chop Chop speaks? Because I want to make sure you guys hear him clearly. I don't want his words to get minced or anything like that. What does make it do what it do? Just start from where you were before the sound, I guess.
Well, she didn't want me boxing. And my motivation was to win trophies, and that was it, just to win trophies, to make myself and make my mother proud and let her know I can do it. So I begged her and begged her. Months went by, and eventually the tournament came up. It was a Junior Olympics. It was in like November, December time, and I asked her, can I compete? And I had to get a permission slip signed. And she said, you keep asking me about this boxing. She said, well, if you lose, you can't box. She gave me an ultimatum. She said, you don't win, you're not allowed to box. And I won. I brought home a trophy, and the rest was history after that.
Yeah, and that was the genesis of your boxing career. That was what got you started.
Yeah, it opened up doors that allowed me to travel and see the world.
Yeah, because that's the crazy thing about boxing. They say like boxing's supposedly a poor man's sport, but you know you wind up traveling more than some of the rich people.
Yeah, I mean, back then, they had the USA Opens that helped support the fighters in the recreation centers, and my job was to just compete and win. And they have sponsors that take care of the fighters and make sure they get out of town. We had a hotel room. All my partners had to give me some money just to buy souvenirs. Everything else was paid for.
That's crazy. It's beautiful what boxing can do for, you know, the fighters, the young kids. You know, keep them off the streets, keep them out of trouble.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I know with you, like when you won your first world title, and I didn't realize this was just recently, but I know that you won the title on 5 days notice, right? You won it on 5 days notice against what was the guy's name? Yeah, I forgot the guy's name, but I think it was Felix Flores.
Yeah, that was my second world title. My first one was the USBA. That was against Enea Julio from Colombia.
Yeah. Yeah, because didn't Ener Julio have like cataract, something like that? So he had to vacate one of the belts. I think it was the WBO or something like that. Yeah,
He had to
and
go
then
have surgery.
yeah, and then you wound up fighting the other guy. What was the guy's name? Felix Flores. Yeah, Flores. So like when you won the world title in that fight, you took it on 5 days notice. Like what kind of? I mean, it's kind of maybe a stupid question, but like, well, a lot of guys they don't take these fights right away unless they're in they get like an 8-week camp. What kind of shape were you in that gave you that confidence to take that fight on 5 days notice to win a world title?
I was in the gym and I was ready. I stayed ready. I mean, I learned from back in 1999 when I fought my first 12-round fight. And Sugar Ray Leonard was my manager. He was like, if you want to do this sport, you got to stay ready because you don't know when the phone call going to come in.
Yeah, and it seems like you kind of carry that lesson all the way to today because like you don't look like you age too much. You know, you look. They say black don't crack. You age pretty well.
I take great care of my body, man. That's all. I eat right.
Yeah. You said Sugar Ray Leonard was your manager. I never knew that about you. What was that like having Sugar Ray like guide your career?
Oh man, it was amazing because I turned pro in 1996, and he was my manager when I turned pro. And then leading up to him fighting Hector Camacho, I was his sparring partner.
Oh wow.
So I got a chance to spar with Ray, and then they sent me to training camp to work with Pernell Whitaker, and he was my mentor. And I just got a chance to meet so many Hall of Fame fighters at a young age and learn from them. And that's one thing the older fighters don't do now today. They don't get back to these younger fighters, talking to them and mentoring to them about the life of boxing, the do's and the don'ts. Pernell Whitaker told me things that I shouldn't do growing up as a fighter, and I took it to a heed like I shouldn't drink, I shouldn't smoke, I shouldn't do drugs.
Yeah, no, it's true. Like a lot of the fighters these days, they seem to kind of like the older generation, I should say, like the older retired guys. They seem to like stick their nose about the younger generation and say, well, they're not as good as I was in my day. But you're not really doing anything to kind of pass along what you know to the younger generation.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like what other like bits of advice did Pernell Whitaker give you, like or Sugar Ray, that really stuck with you throughout your career and even like today in life?
The first one we were Pernell. We stayed with each other for 6 months, and we stayed in Vero Beach, Florida, for 3 months, and then we went to Miami and we finished up training camp there. But just spending time with him and. Pernell, he had his ups and his downs. He had the things that he was addicted to, which was he used drugs. And I talked to him about it, and we were open with each other. He told me why he done it and the reason what he was doing it for. He said he has made it already. And I said, but you still fighting? He said, I'm fighting just because I love to do it. He said, I'm going into the Hall of Fame. I'm a multiple world champion in 2 different weight classes. He said, but I don't want you to do these things you see me. And I looked up to him and I respect him for telling me that.
Yeah, that's some brutal honesty, because like it's very difficult for guys like Pernell Whitaker to admit when they're doing something wrong. But you know, I guess like when you get caught up with drugs, it gets difficult. It gets hard to just stop doing drugs. I mean, I never did drugs, but that's what I hear.
Yeah, they say it's hard.
Yeah. How much? Did a lot of fighters you came up with? Would you say like they did a lot of drugs? Like were there a lot of fighters doing drugs back in those days in the 90s and whatnot?
No, they wasn't doing the drugs, but when you from the DMV area,
Yeah.
We love to hit the clubs. We like the girls.
Okay.
So see, we got that thing called go-go music.
Yeah, I heard of
And
it.
we go to the go-go, and man, we be dancing and having fun, but after the club, you try to pull up on something.
Hell yeah. You try to get, 11, 10, 11 girlfriends, one for every day of the month, one for every day of the week.
I know that's right. And with the DC fighters, we dress different from fighters from other states, so we carry a swag with us. So
Mm.
you could tell when a joker from DC, you're like, okay, yeah, you see what he got on his feet. If he got on some New Balance or some Timberlands or some ACG Nike boots, oh yeah, he from DC.
Yeah, he's straight DC.
Yeah, but the DC fighters, man, we just love to hit the clubs and stuff. And some of them drink. Some of the fighters, they drink, but they still put that work in. They didn't do the
Yeah.
drugs though until they got off for boxing.
Well, some of the best fighters in the history of boxing have been alcoholics. Like I heard stories like Frankie Randall. I heard stories like Frankie Randall the night before the Chavez fight. He's in the casino gambling and drinking all kinds of alcohol, and then he goes in there and he outboxes Chavez. So, hey, I mean, I guess different strokes for different folks, but I would think that to give yourself the best chance to win, you got to be disciplined.
Yeah, I got a chance to spar with Frankie Randall, and he's a crazy character, man.
So it's true. You can confirm he was crazy.
Yeah, he crazy.
Yeah, he was a good fighter though. A good long rangy jab.
Yeah.
Seemed to know what he was doing on the outside.
Yep.
Yeah. You mentioned DC, right? Like DC's had a lot of fantastic fighters. They got like Tank, and they've had like Lamar Peterson over the years. What would you say makes a Washington DC fighter? Because we always hear about New York fighters and Philadelphia, but sometimes DC kind of gets overlooked. What do you think makes a DC fighter?
We bring a different style to the fighting game because we come from the ghetto, just like New York fighters. They come from the ghetto and they're trying to make it out of the ghetto, so they fight hard. Compared to a fighter that's in the suburbs and their family already got money, they're not going to fight as hard because they're not struggling like that. But you take a young kid that's in the projects and you teach him how to do something, and then you mentor to him and tell him, hey, if you become good at this, you can open up doors for your family. You can buy your mother a house. You can buy yourself a car. That's going to make that fighter fight harder, train harder.
Yeah, because like for a lot of the guys in the ghettos and whatnot, it's like their first chance to really be to be somebody like really big in life, to be someone that could provide for his family and take care of his friends and family and his wife and all that stuff. Yeah. No, absolutely. My man Paul right here, he asks, Chop, have you ever thought about opening a restaurant because you enjoy cooking so much?
It's in the talks, and I'm going to LA in September to do a pitch to some investors about Chop Chop's Kitchen.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, man. I feel like it'd be the great way to transition into life after boxing, because I see you on the Instagram, you cook it and you have this like happiness in this joy in your eyes. So it looks like something you really enjoy doing.
I'm in another planet. When I'm in my kitchen, I go to another planet, and when I'm in the gym, I'm at another planet. I mean, I'm happy. I'm at peace. I'm okay, man.
Yeah. Well, you should be, man. I mean, a lot of fighters they have regrets about the career, and they ask themselves the question of, did I do enough? And I think you're one of the guys in boxing where you don't have to ask yourself that question of, did I do enough? You had a whole lifetime in boxing.
Yeah, man. I can't wait until I retire and go into the Hall of Fame, man. That's gonna be it's my moment, man.
Yeah, man. Because you've been in there with some of the best. I mean, I know you fought. I'm from the Miami area, so I know you fought one of our guys. You fought Randall Bailey twice. You guys think went 1-1. I think you won the first one. He won the second.
Yep. That's my guy, man. That's my boy.
Hey, what's his punching power like? Because I always hear the stories about his punching power. They say Randall Bailey used to punch. He was one of the hardest punchers.
yo, he can drop it like it's hot.
Yeah.
And when we fought each other, he was 26-0 with 26 knockouts. And
Oh man.
my trainer was like, whatever you do, don't get caught. Just box him. Now, what a lot of people don't know, when that fight happened, I think it was January the 4th, 2003.
Yeah.
2003 or 2004? 2003.
2003.
The game plan was to box Randall. And I was in camp down in Fort Pierce for that fight at Don King's training camp. And they had me in camp for 8 weeks, which a lot of people don't know. When you're in camp, you don't have no sex, right?
Yes. It's tough.
So the fight is back home in D.C. So after camp was over, I get a chance to go back home. I'm in the DMV now. I got my wife and I got my kids. So they put me up in a hotel room. January, New Year's Day, January 1st.
Yeah.
I spent New Year's with my wife and them, went to church. After New Year's, we celebrated. Me and my wife had sex. But when I told my manager and them about it, they was crazy mad. They was saying, "You dumb, you stupid ass. Why would you do that?" I'm like, man, look, I've been in camp for 8 weeks. I'm geeking.
Yeah.
I
need some ass.
I need to release myself, man.
Yeah.
They're like, you got the biggest fight of your life. This is your second title defense, and you gonna go out there and do this. I'm like, look, man, I know what's at stake. I know what I can do. He can't hit what he can't see. At the end of the day, he got to catch me. I said, I'm gonna box Randall, and I'm gonna make him miss. And that was the game plan.
Yeah.
And then when I told them about I had sex, and they were like, "You crazy, man. You really crazy. You in there with a joke of 26-0 with 26 knockouts, and you gonna sleep with your wife 3 days before the fight? Yeah, something wrong with you, Chop."
Yeah. But you were still able to win, right? That was the first fight, right?
Huh?
That was before the first fight, right?
Yeah, that was the first time we fought each other. Yeah.
Oh, so you were even with all that going on, you still got it done. That's crazy.
now the second fight, when I fought him again in New York, I'm much older.
Yep.
My testicles got a little bigger than what they should have gotten. So I'm like, okay, I got sat in there with him, and I can take this. I can take a punch like that. Man, Randall dropped that right hand on me. When I went down, I said, damn, he really can punch.
So you found out firsthand.
I got up, I said, okay, now I see he can punch. Let me start boxing and moving. But it was too late then. That knockdown wasn't the fight for him.
Dang. That's crazy. Hey, Chop, they have these, so I know they have these myths where they say, like, you know, if you're a fighter, if you have sex before the fight, it makes you weaker. Did you feel weaker before you had sex before the first Randall Bailey fight?
Nah,
is the myth true?
I had sex on New Year's, and after I got finished having sex, I got up and I ran from the hotel all through Georgetown. I ran like 5 or 6 miles.
Oh man! So
the thing is, what fighters don't understand, they have sex and then you get relaxed, you lay down and go to sleep. You don't feel like going no running 6 miles.
No.
Get your ass up out that pussy and go run you 6 miles right after you get finished having sex. And then go right back in the gym and finish working like nothing ever happened.
That sounds like the hardest training session of all time. Because I know after you get some ass, you're not trying to, you know, most people aren't trying to like do anything. They want to go to sleep, catch some Z's.
And the funny part about it, you know who told me this? Don Turner, Holyfield.
Don Turner's crazy ass. He told you that? He's crazy.
He said the chase fucking ain't the problem. It's the chase that gets you. When you're in camp, you on your phone. Oh man, I want some. And then she's sending you them pictures, and you like, damn, it look good. So you up there jerking off, watching your girl. Like Don said, look, get the pussy, get your ass
Yeah.
out there and go running.
It's the mental energy.
Exactly.
That mental energy that you start fantasizing what you want to do to them and all this kind of crazy stuff.
He said the best thing you could do, you in camp, just have her to fly to camp, get you some, and send her ass back.
Is that what you did?
Get it out the way.
Yeah. So you can focus.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I know. One of the fights that I think about when I think about your career was that fight with Miguel Cotto, because I remember Cotto was like big, like he was big. I think you weighed on fight night. You were like 139, 140 or something, like 138. He was like 137. Yeah. He was like what, 158, almost 160?
Yeah, 57.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What was that whole fight like? Because I don't know, man. It just seemed like I guess unfair because he was just so big.
The game plan for that fight, we knew Cotto was big. We knew he struggled to make weight and he was gonna blow up.
Yeah.
The game plan was to box Cotto and get him in the later rounds. And we were sticking to the game plan, even though I hurt him. That's the worst thing you can do is jump on a wounded animal when he's hurt. That's when he's most dangerous. So I didn't want to run in there and get caught with something careless. So I was being cautious and still trying to break him down. And then he hit me on my hip with the low blow. I took a knee, and the ref stopped the fight.
Yeah, I remember that. Was Cotto like what do you grade him as a fighter as far as the guys you fought? Like, was he one of the best fighters you fought, Cotto?
I can't say he one of the best because we only went 5 rounds. I never got a chance to see what his punching power was like because I didn't get hit like that to take his punching power.
Yeah.
And everybody asked me, Chop, can Cotto punch? I don't know.
Yeah.
I get hit. And that's the thing. I try not to get hit. That's why I keep my hands up as much as I can.
Yeah, and it's like you never got a chance to really test his conditioning in the later rounds either.
No. And
Yeah.
Zab told me he could punch, though.
Yeah, Zab Judah told you?
Yeah, but he also hit Zab low a couple times to break him down.
Yeah, hey, Cotto was a mean guy. Everybody says Cotto was this quiet, nice guy. He was a mean guy, especially, in his younger years when he had the hair.
Yeah, he do them tactics like Bernard Hopkins do. He hit you on your hip and he neutralize you, make you not be able to move.
Yeah, it's the fight game, man. It comes with the territory.
Exactly.
Yeah. Who would you say? I know we mentioned Cotto, we mentioned Randall Bailey. Who was the hardest puncher you fought? You feel like who was it for you?
Shit. I ain't got to think about that. I went up to 147. Freddie Hernandez. That joker dropped that right hand on my ass.
Yeah, Freddie Hernandez.
I could have got up. It was in the 5th round. I could have got up and continued. But I said I got 5 more rounds to go. He might catch my ass again.
we might wind up going to the hospital or something. He made you second guess yourself.
Yeah, I said nah. I'm gonna go ahead and take this one.
Was his power more of like heavy-handed power, or was it like that sharp power? Like, there's different types of power that in the ring. They got like thudding power. Sometimes some guys are fast.
His shit was Randall Bailey's shit was fast and thunder. His shit was just boom. That shit like a sledgehammer when he hit me.
Like a boulder.
You're like
I know.
Down goes Chop.
Yeah, Chop been chopped.
I can visualize the knockdown right now, the way my legs went up in the air and everything.
So okay, Freddie Hernandez. Is that fight on YouTube? I'm gonna have to check that one out. I've never seen that fight.
It's on YouTube.
I'm gonna check that one out.
Just on Showtime. It was a Showtime fight.
Okay, I'm gonna check that one out because I never seen that fight. I know you got your son, Lil Chop. I always enjoy the videos with you and your son, Lil Chop. What's it like, working with him in the gym, and how is he coming along, your son?
It's a great feeling to train one of your children from when they in Pampers until they up as a young little kid and then be going into a teenager stage. It
Yeah.
was amazing working with him. He loved it. He loved the box. He's just not in it right now because we are on two different coasts right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I mean in the videos I've seen of him, he loves he looks like he loves boxing. Like there's some kids that just kind of like boxing. They just do. He loves boxing. Like he almost gets a high and enjoy just off of being in the gym.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. He loves it. He loves exercising and learning different stuff in the gym. And he loves when he hit a kid to the body. They don't like getting hit in the stomach. And
No.
he get a kick out. He get a kick out of hitting him in the stomach, knocking the wind out of him.
Making him grimace, making him go, ugh, that type of thing. Yeah, okay. Chop, I know you stay around boxing and whatnot. So I wanted to pick your brain, man, because like a lot of people keep talking about this whole like Crawford and Spence thing and this fight if it ever happens and whatnot. But I wanted to kind of ask you, like, if them two do fight, how do you see that matchup, Crawford versus Spence?
On that note, I like Earl. I like Bud. Both on Southpaw.
Yeah.
But I think Crawford gonna win by decision if Earl can't knock him out.
Okay.
Bud know how to box. He know how to take it to a different level and box and use the reach, use angles, and run off shots. And that's what the judges want to see. You hit and not get hit.
Yeah.
Earl doesn't do a lot of head movement when he's in there fighting.
No.
He's just a straightforward fighter, and he catch shots, but they want to see you hit, not get hit.
Yeah. Earl's more of a guy that relies like on pairing the punches, and Terrence likes to punch on the move. One of Terrence's trainers, he can sharpshoot and punch on the move.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know like a lot of people grade these guys highly. You fought one of the best welterweights of all time in Floyd Mayweather, which is like probably your biggest fight. What do you feel like made Floyd Mayweather such a great fighter, a hard guy to beat?
His dad and his uncle put him in boxing when he was in Pampers.
Kind of like your son.
And they programmed him to fight the backwards way. When I say the backwards way, if I catch a punch with this hand, most likely everybody's going to come back with the free hand, right?
Yeah.
Floyd has been programmed. You catch on this side, you come back with this hand. Whatever hand you catch with, that's the hand he come back with because it's closer to the opponent.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Most fighters aren't comfortable doing that.
But it's easy if you learn it. And when you're a child, your brain is a sponge. Doing this stuff since he was 2 years old, 3 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old. His muscle memory is just normal for him now.
Yeah. I know like a lot was made of like his timing, and you mentioned the muscle memory. How quick when you're actually in the ring with him, like how quick were his reflexes when you fought him? Because it seems like he has got some of the best reflexes ever.
Very, very quick, great reflexes, and his timing was on point. If you strike at him, he's like a snake. I don't know how he is now, but back then, he was like a snake, man. A snake will pull back when you try to hit it. Sometimes you may catch the snake like I caught Floyd. But when you miss, he will make you pay.
Yeah. And like, was his power like? Would you say his power was respectable? Because I know you fought him at 40. You didn't even fight him at 40, so you fought him at 40, where I feel like he had more pop. But what would you say from being in the ring with him?
From a scale 1 to 10.
Yeah.
And 10 being you can knock jokers out. Floyd punching power is a 6.
Oh, okay. So
He can't punch because he doesn't ball his fist up when he throwing punches. He punches fast and quick, but he don't carry the punching power.
yeah, he's not Randall Bailey. He's not Freddie Hernandez. As far in that department.
Go ahead. That was
Hello.
someone calling in.
My bad. Yeah, he's not Freddie Hernandez or Randall Bailey in the punch power department.
No way near.
Okay. Brandon D says, "Why do they call you Chop? Yeah, well, how'd you get the nickname Chop Chop?"
At at 10 years old, I was in the National Silver Gloves, and I made it to the Nationals, and we was going to Nashville, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got there, it was Friday night, and we had to fight the next day, which was on a Saturday. I was 65 pounds, and I supposed to fight at 65 pounds. But we were hungry, so my trainer said, look, I know y'all hungry. It was a long road trip, and we're going to go eat. So we went at Burger King. You know, Burger King had the salad bar back then.
Yeah.
He said, look, I want you to have a salad because you're right on weight. And I said, okay, I'm going to have a salad. And at that time, my coach called me DeMarcus. Or they called me by my nickname was called Duck.
Duck, okay.
Yeah, so he said, you're going to have a salad. And he was watching what everybody was eating. I had a salad, but eventually when you wandered off and talked with the other coaches, man, I went back to the salad bar. I had me a sundae, a banana split, a frosty milkshake, some french fries. I was eating other fighters' food, man, because the salad wasn't getting it for me. I was hungry.
Yeah.
So I went from 65 pounds to 75 pounds overnight.
Okay.
So I had to move up to fight 75 pounds in the weight class, and the trainer said, you chop that food up. I'm going to call you Chop Chop from now on. And ever since then, that's been my name.
Man, that's crazy how like it all comes full circle. You know, you love cooking. You got your name from eating. It all comes back to the food.
But I eat right now, though.
Yeah. What are some of the things like that you eat on a day-to-day basis? Like what are the nutritional things that Chop Chop likes to eat these days?
I love my chicken.
Okay.
I can't go wrong with chicken. I love my vegetables. I love my starch. I have my mashed potatoes every now and then, my rice and gravy. I'm hooked on lamb now.
Okay.
I like the lamb chops. I like the lamb bites, the little small cube lamb chops. I like the rack of lamb. I like the leg of the lamb also. I finally bought some steak, so
there you go.
Listen to you. There you go.
I like chicken. I like grilled chicken too, but man, you get yourself a nice skirt steak, medium rare. Put it on the grill.
I got some filet mignon steak. I got on.
Okay.
So I'm gonna marinate them for about 2 days, and then I'm gonna put them on the grill. But I'm not a steak eater, man. So I just want to see how it is. I never ate a steak that I cook.
Okay.
I don't cook steak. I don't eat it.
Yeah, that's not your thing. I get it.
It's too heavy. It takes too long to digest.
Yeah, and I feel you. It's not something that I would eat every day either. I really like steak, man. No, I gotta. Whenever I go to the DMV, man, I gotta try some of the chop food, the Demarcus Corley. You know,
well, you want my food? You gotta come to Vegas.
Vegas, that's where you're at. You're in Vegas now. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, you are in Vegas. You know what? You are in Vegas because you actually you sparred one of my friends recently. This kid, I don't know if you know Marcos Paz. Marcos Paz. He's this like short, stocky, like 135 pounder. I think he sparred him at DLX. I don't remember when, but it was recently. He was there with Angelo, I think, Angelo Leo and his dad.
No, we sparred over Syndicate.
Okay.
That was just about a month ago.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
yeah.
got some footage of it. Yeah, he a nice kid.
Yeah, very nice kid. That's one of my good buddies.
Yeah.
He told me. He said, yeah, I got some working with Chop today. I said, that's cool, man. I like Chop. That's a good person to get working with because you're durable and you know all the tricks of the trade and all that stuff.
Yeah. When you talk to him again, ask him, did I catch his glove?
I'm gonna ask him.
I learned that trick from Pernell Whitaker, and he was like, "How you do that?" I said, "Take time and in practice, man."
But catching the glove when somebody's throwing at you.
Yeah, he threw a jab at me, and I grabbed it.
That's pretty funny. QC says, "Yo, what's happening, BT? Man, you're working, bro. Much respect and appreciation with your content. Shout out to Chop. I just watched your fight against Floyd the other day on YouTube. Yeah, everybody knows you from the Floyd fight. Chop.
Yeah,
that's the big one.
Yeah, I had him. I almost hit the Powerball.
I know. Hey, you would have stopped the you would have really, if you would have beat him back then, you would have stopped the hype train before it got going, because he wasn't like the cash cow yet. He was still on HBO and
yeah, he was Pretty Boy Floyd back then.
Yeah, so you hadn't even fought Money. You fought the more dangerous version.
I fought Pretty Boy.
Yeah. I know you fought Bare Knuckle last year. I was reading that you fought Bare Knuckle last year. What was that whole experience like? Because that's the whole different world to boxing, the whole Bare Knuckle thing.
For me, it's nothing, because at the end of the day, I love to fight.
I believe you.
So they were like, "You gonna do Bare Knuckle?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's just a fight without gloves." Only thing I was worried about was breaking my hands.
Yeah.
So your adrenaline is rushing. You're not even thinking about it when you're in there fighting, but you're gonna feel it after the fight. And I was winning the fight until he slammed me in the third round.
Damn.
And then I started having problems breathing in the fourth round. And then the fifth round came. I was like, "Man, I'm done." He's like, "You winning?" I was like, "I don't care. I'm not going back out there. I might pass out and die."
And that was it. So I was reading, though, you were talking about maybe doing it again, the bare knuckle thing. You want to do it?
I will. Trust me, I will do it again without a problem. But they can't get nobody to get in there with me.
Oh no, they're all turning you down. They don't want no smoke.
I asked them for a fight about 5 or 6 months ago. They were like, "Chop, we still don't want nobody to get in there with you. We can't get nobody to fight you."
Yeah, but they should have some sort of confidence, like they because if they look at, like, I guess, like, your age, they should, that should give them some confidence if they're a younger guy. No,
don't let that age fool you. If they see my social media, they'll be like, "Nah."
No, I'm not saying like age is a thing for you. I'm saying for them, they should have the false sense of security that, hey, this guy isn't that young and I'm younger, so let me fight him. That type of thing.
But everything is done through social media now. They gonna look at him like, "Man, he's still in there spawning these guys. He working." Nah. Chop on something.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't. I mean, I saw a picture on your Instagram where, like, you posted a picture of you in your 20s, you in your 30s, and you in your 40s, and you look almost the same in all of them.
And my weight is still the same. That's for sure.
Yeah. What's the heaviest you've ever weighed, like, your whole life?
I seen 153 pounds one time. I was 6 months out of the gym, not doing nothing, just eating everything. I mean, I really was trying to see how much I can gain without working out and just eating fat food. I got to 53. And I felt the 53 too.
You probably started touching your stomach and you said, "Man, that's kind of soft down there. I need to go back to the gym and start doing some sit-ups and some crunches."
Man, my stomach I had a little round circle. I ain't had no abs or nothing.
That's the worst. When you so accustomed to touching your stomach and you feel like a stone, and then all of a sudden it's all flabby, it's soft, jiggling.
Hey, it's funny you said that. I said, "Man, I should do this. I should get some women underwear and wash them on my stomach. I can wash your underwear on my washboard." I got abs you could just wash your clothes on.
And shit, you probably better shape than most people, in their 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're eating right too. That's the thing. A lot of these guys, they go to the gym, but then they have tacos and burritos and pizzas and chicken. And
yeah. If I'm gonna have a taco, it's gonna be a half a taco. I don't like that bread, and I don't like the tortilla bread neither. I don't like but I'm addicted to Doritos.
Yeah.
I got hooked on Doritos.
The Doritos tacos or just the chips?
No, Dorito chips, just plain
The
cheese
chips.
Doritos.
Okay, yeah,
I got
the
three
nacho,
bags in there on the refrigerator right now.
the nacho cheese one, the red ones,
The regular ones, yep.
the red ones. Those are the best ones. Those are the classics. You know,
I
some
got
people
three
they.
bags on the refrigerator.
There you go. That's the go-to. My man Hiro right here says, "Did you want a Zab Judah rematch? That was a close fight."
We had a rematch scheduled, but Zab last fight when he fought in New York at the Hall of Fame weekend,
Mm-hmm.
the Hammer was on them drugs and he beat Zab and that wasn't able to continue no more after that.
Oh, you talking about the one he fought? What's the guy's name? The Hebrew Hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. That was like 3 years ago.
Yep.
Cletus Selden. That was his name. Cletus Selden.
Yeah. I was at that fight and we were going to do a rematch because we could have been done the rematch, but Zab didn't act. Floyd told me to tell Zab come talk to him about the rematch. He would have done it. He would have promoted it. And Zab didn't want to do it. So Floyd didn't push it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, like even like towards the end of your career, like you were probably gonna fight Zab if that didn't happen with the Hebrew Hammer. I remember the one fight I remember of yours from like 4 years ago. It sticks out of my head because the back and forth was so entertaining. It was you and Hank Lundy. Remember when you and Hank Lundy were going back and forth, and he was like, "I'm coming to put you on that dialysis bag."
Yeah, he said I'm gonna retire you. You're
Yeah,
gonna be wearing a shit bag.
yeah. Oh, that's one of the fights from like the last few years I really remember because of just you guys going back and forth. What do you remember about that fight? The actual fight itself?
Um, he wasn't trying to exchange with me. He wanted to run and box. And I thought the fight should have been a draw, but by being in Philly, they're gonna give it to the hometown.
Yeah, yeah. I remember it being pretty close when I watched it. Man, Paul says, "Who was your favorite fighter, prize fighter growing up? Fair boxer."
My favorite, Pernell Whitaker.
Yeah. Well, did you have a favorite Pernell Whitaker fight? That one that stuck out for you?
Um, nah, just all of them.
All of them.
Just watching him perform. It was like he was a dancer when he was in the ring. He'd be on stage and he's performing, and he would just be doing his little moving and hit you and make you miss, and then he would do like the drunken thing with Emmanuel Gus's. Emmanuel
Yeah.
Gus's got that from Pernell, all the moves. So I was like, man, he just very acrobatic.
Yeah, and not even just that. Like when he had to take the fight to you, he could. Like when he fought Buddy McGirt,
He was a
he won
dog.
that fight. He was a dog. He walked him down, and he was going right to the bigger man.
Yeah, a lot of I didn't see that dog when I was around Pernell, but came fight time, it'll come out.
Yeah, I know. I've talked to Evander Holyfield a lot over the years. You know, they were on the '84 Olympic team together, and he always tells me like Pernell Whitaker, he's just an angry, mean guy all the time. Like he had this thing about him, this spitefulness about him, to where like he was always on go. He was always ready. He was always ready for something to pop off.
I think Pernell when we were back in North and in Florida, he's small, but he's not small. So he's bigger than me, but he looked at himself as a small person. So when big people were around, he would like swell up all the time, like I'm just as big as you, but I'm just small. So it's like he got a little person complex. So
Yeah.
he didn't play when it comes to you trying to look down on him. He like looking up at you like, man, I ain't scared of you.
That's the way you gotta be. If you're a smaller guy, you can't be going through life, cowering down to every person that you meet that's big and strong. You gotta hold your own, be 10 toes down. Yeah. My man Too Short says, what advice would you give to young fighters on the come up in pro fighting, promoters, managers, etc.?
That's a lot of information. But first,
That is a lot.
I mean, I can go on with it because first, for a young fighter, you got to take it serious. You can't play boxing. And when I say you can't play it, you got to know that you want to do this for the long haul. And the long haul meaning you can't be hitting the clubs, hitting your girl, smoking with your friends, and drinking also. It's a lifestyle that you got to live if you want to get what you want out this sport. If you want to be world champion, some things you're going to have to give up.
Yeah.
But if you just want to be a boxer and become a pro fighter, your record can be 10-1, 10-2, and you don't see yourself going anywhere, then that's okay. And for a manager's part, get with the right manager that's going to move you and going to put you in the right fights.
They always say the right fights. What would you deem as like the right fights? Because I've always heard people say, get you a manager that can give you the right fights. For you, what is the right fights? What does that mean?
The right fight for me, it would be building your resume as an amateur first.
Okay.
That way, you got 85 amateur fights and your record is 60 and 20-something losses. Now you already know how to fight, pretty much. You almost had 100 fights. So when you're in there competing against other fighters, y'all both turning pro. You're matched up with someone who got a record, 1 win, no loss, or you fighting someone who has a loss and 1 win, 1-1.
Yeah.
And your record is your pro debut. That's a good matchup. I don't like when they paddle these fighters' record. He's fighting a guy, he got 12 losses and only 3 wins. That motherfucker can fight because he's been in there 15 times.
He's experienced.
Exactly. So those be the fights that be upside down where they're like, damn, he fought a nigga who got 12 losses. Man, that guy came to fight. But he may be a fighter that's just looking for a payday.
Yeah, so it depends on the mentality of the opponent going into the ring.
Yeah. You may run across a fighter who got 9 losses and 6 wins and like, man, I'm tired of losing, man. I'm about to get in some shape and I'm going to get serious about this. And then you fight that joker and he beats you. You're like, how did I lose to? They shouldn't have picked that fight for you anyway.
Yeah. Now I've seen that. I've gone to fights. Like I've gone to like local shows here in Florida where you'll get a guy who's like 9-0 taking on a guy who's like 5-29. They look at that 29 and they say, oh, this is easy fight, and the 5-29 guy chins the 9-0 guy, and the 9-0 guy is just like he doesn't know what happened to him.
Yeah.
Someone asked, you work with Don King and Bob Arum. How was your relationship with both of them?
I only had 2 fights with Bob Arum.
Okay.
And both of them was nice, but I had a great relationship with DK. We signed back in '96, and our career went from '96 all the way up to 2000, and I think I got my release like in 2000, like 4 or 5.
Okay.
After me and Mayweather fought, I think we got a release from Don King because I was still promoted by DK when I fought Floyd. It's
intriguing to hear you say that because a lot. Don King obviously has a reputation. A lot of people don't have the best thing to say about him. They say he's this way and he's that way. He steals money. He does this.
Well, he didn't steal money from me. I don't know about other people, but I can recall I made a phone call. I was getting ready for either Randall Bailey or Enir Julio, and I needed an advance. So I'm getting 100-some thousand. I told Dana Jameson, I said, can I get an advance? She said, yeah, Chop, how much you want? I said, I need 10,000. Okay, we'll FedEx you. We'll put it out in the mail tomorrow. You'll have it within 24 hours. So they FedEx me a check. I already knew $10,000 already been minus from my purse. So don't look at it like he's stealing from you when you borrowing $50,000 here and you got a fight scheduled in 3 months. And then that fight get canceled, Now you got $50,000 that you owe him. Then the fight be scheduled up for another 6 months later, and you want another $25,000 to go back to camp and do. Now you got $75,000 in the hole. So when you get your purse, you fight for $200,000. He subtracts $75,000. You walk away with $125,000. Then what?
Well, that's on you as a fighter. If you're taking out all these advances, that's on the fighters. You know, because like the same thing you're saying. When I interviewed Stacey McKinley, who was a good friend of mine, the trainer, he said the same thing about other fighters. You know, these guys they'll sue Don King, you know, a year or two later, but it's because they took crazy advances out when they were, you know, in camp. They want to spend money on Gucci belts and they want to go to the club and pop bottles and just spend their money on stupid stuff, you know. So like I guess it comes down to the fighters being smart with not taking out too much money on the advances.
Yeah.
Okay. My man Paul says, what's your opinion on Shakur Stevenson?
When I look at him and I see him perform, I see Floyd Mayweather, but from a southpaw standpoint. That motherfucker nice. Yeah,
he knows his distance like really well.
He nice. I hope he fight a southpaw. I want some of that work.
Yeah, so you want to spar Shakur Stevenson?
Yeah, I want to spar him, man. I got my people who I want to work with before I retire because they were like, nah, Chop, you too old. We don't want to work with you now. Once I hit that 50 mark, I ain't gonna be able to get in camp with nobody.
No, they're gonna say, "Nah, you really, really too old. We can't have that."
Now,
no, but you still.
We don't want to hurt you, old man.
Who are some of the other guys? Like I know, so you mentioned Shakur. Who else is there you want to work with before you retire?
I want Tank. I want that Tank work.
That DMV, that from one DMV to the other.
Yeah, I hope Tank fight a southpaw. He can get Lomachenko. I like to work with him for that fight.
Okay, well, put it out. There you have it. Get Chop, one of the main spar partners for Tank for the Lomachenko fight. You know, hopefully make that fight soon. Hopefully for your sake, make it soon because I know you want that. What do you think about Jerome Boots Ennis, the welterweight from Philly?
Nice motherfucker.
Yeah,
that jumper nice.
He's got all the power, all the speed, the defense, everything.
That motherfucker, he like Michael Jackson. He's slick. And he a southpaw.
Yeah. And he can switch. He can fight orthodox too if he needs to, if he wants to, you know. I was in Philly recently. I saw. Go ahead.
I would like to see him and Crawford get down.
Oh, that's the fight I want to see. Like, you know, all respect to Spence, but you know, fuck the Spence fight. Give me Boots versus Crawford. You know, let's see who's the best switch hitter. Let's see who's really that guy.
Yeah, because I mean, Ennis, he remind me a little bit of the Matrix, man, when he be in there moving.
Yeah, he's like Neo.
He can groove, man. Shawty can groove.
Yeah, I had a chance to watch him spar when I was in Philly, and it's like he be on the ropes, and you like it looks like the guy is crowding him, and then all of a sudden you can see like 3 straight left hands in a row, bang bang bang, just like a gun, bang bang bang, and then an uppercut like real quick. I'm like, what the hell? Like it's something out of a video game or a movie. I don't really say that about a lot of fighters, but he's different, a little different. Hyro says, were you ever in talks to fight Adrian Broner? You fought his last opponent, Giovanni Santiago.
No, we were never in talks to fighting Adrian, but we would like to get a shot at him. And I mean, I've been putting it out there.
I seen that. You call him out.
He washed up, man. I will fuck him up.
Yeah, because Adrian Broner, he had fast hands even when he was in his younger days. He always had fast hands, but he had slow feet. He never had great footwork or nothing like that. So you feel like even at now at 48, you fuck him up.
I've been in camp with him. I work with him. When he was in camp, he was on his shit, but he's just done. He need to go to the AA classes and get himself completely together, rehab, detox. And maybe he'll try to be something again. He done.
Yeah, he's checked out. You don't think he don't got it up here? No more.
Nah, he ain't gonna be world champion again.
No, because I feel like
not at 140,
I feel like,
and he can't do 47.
No, yeah, I feel like with him, it's like he got too much money and fame like early on. He couldn't handle it,
and he didn't have the right people mentoring to him. He had nothing but yes men.
Yeah, just so long as those checks is clearing. Yes, it's always yes, as long as those checks clear. Yeah, but Chop, I don't want to hold you up much longer, man. I pretty much asked everything I wanted to ask, but before I let you go, is there anything you want to get out there to the boxing fans about yourself and what you got going on before we end the interview?
We got July 30th in the DMV is hands up, guns down movement that we're working on. We're gonna do an exhibition there with another fighter named Larry Johnson, and we're gonna have some other fighters out there doing exhibitions as well. We're gonna sign some autographs, give away some stuff for the kids. I got a lot of merchandise, so I'm gonna be donating a lot of boxing gloves to the gyms in the DMV area, and just try to stop this killing out here for these young fighters, man.
Yeah, because it's a crazy cold world out there.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, well, yeah, July 30th, gloves up, guns down. That's in what you said in DC, right? DMV area?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, all right, yeah, definitely support that. And yeah, I guess with that being said, DeMarcus, pleasure talking to you, man. Really fun to talk to you again.
All right, we on our way in Chop's kitchen, yo. I'm hungry.
Okay. all right. Go get you some grub. Thank you, man.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Bye.
All right. There you have it. Demarcus Corley, the 86 fight veteran. He was here on True School Sports, the former WBO champion. Listen, I had a great time talking to Chop. This was actually, see, he's a busy guy and he's been fighting a lot. This is actually my second time interviewing Chop. I actually interviewed Chop in 2016, back in the days when like we had Google Hangout on YouTube back in the day. So it's not my first time talking to him, but he didn't remember that time. So this time, hopefully he remembers me. But great time talking to him. It's your boy BT. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Yesterday we had Tim Bradley. Today we had Chop. Now look, man, that's 2 days in a row. That's 2 days in a row for your boy BT, man. I went through a cold spell because, like I told you guys yesterday, my boy, my dear friend Gabriel Chacon, my former sparring partner Gabriel Chacon, he passed away. So, I've been dealing with that and amongst other things in life, and that's kind of got me down. But life must go on. The show must continue, and continue it will here on True School Sports. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that interview. If you haven't checked out the Timothy Bradley 2-hour interview, go check that one out. Tomorrow we got another interview coming on the channel. My dad's actually gonna do the interview himself because it's a Spanish fighter, it's a Latino fighter. So my dad's gonna do the interview tomorrow. And and then Saturday we got the Ryan Garcia, Javier Fortuna live fight reaction extravaganza. And on top of that, the good thing for you guys is like I've missed so many things going on in the boxing news that I have a whole ton of videos to make. I got like probably 20 to 30 videos to make. So there's gonna be a lot of content I have to catch up. But hopefully, while I'm catching up and I'm doing these interviews with you guys, you guys are I'm making up some lost time with Bradley, with Chop, and tomorrow we got another one. So yeah, man, thank you guys for supporting the channel. Thank you guys for the continued support. You guys are a big part of the reason why I continue to do this because we come a long way here on True School Sports, and we're gonna keep going further. It's just a matter of just time and patience and continuing to do right for the sport of boxing by covering these guys and asking them, the questions that people want to hear. So, so that's what it is. But you guys take care. I'm going to get to work on some content. Take care. God bless. Make sure you guys maintain some joy in your own life. Stay healthy. Go to the gym. Eat right. Tell your loved ones that you do love them. And yeah, tomorrow we'll see you guys tomorrow for the next interview with Pops. And until then, like I say in every single one of these videos, you guys can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.